long time coming. Football season is here. So, with that being said, my name is Jamar. I'm here with my bros, Deshaun, and newly member of the Destination Fantasy Podcast, Ian. How y'all fellas are doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Can't complain.
Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. It's Sunday. We are one last Sunday removed from NFL football. Couple of good college games on yesterday, man. Shout out to Dion Prime, what those guys doing at Colorado. Super dope. But from a fantasy football perspective, man, I'm so ready, man. I got 2 drafts today. I got another draft tomorrow. So it's a bunch of fantasy football to talk about, man.
Facts. Ian, how many drafts have you done? How many drafts you got coming up?
I got one I completed last weekend, and then I got one today, actually around 6. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you are in the main league with us. We all got the same draft today at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, ready for that. I got a 14 team draft. I think 9 o'clock tonight. Got 2 more drafts tomorrow. And then at that point, I'm just locked and loaded and ready to get it going, man. But yeah, it's been a lot of stuff has happened in NFL this off season, and just getting things in line for fantasy. Boy, I guess to get into it, guys, a lot of stuff to talk about because we've been away for a minute, but nevertheless, I guess let's get into. I guess we can get into the sleepers here. 'Cause, everybody that's probably still trying to draft. Let's give them a couple of sleepers here, then a couple of busts or whatnot. Deshaun, let's start with you. Quarterbacks, what we got for sleepers?
For QB sleepers, man, I got my boy. Like let's just start off with my boy. I'm not sure if you guys can see that right there, but hashtag Steeler Nation, hashtag here we go. Kenny Pickett,
Here we
man.
go.
Listen, I know y'all seen him in preseason. 158.3 QB rating. I mean, you guys are football guys. Do the math. That's a perfect QB rating inside the preseason. They got a revamped offensive line. They still got George Pickens. They still got Deontay Johnson. They made a new addition and Allen Robinson, as well as they also have a healthy Calvin Austin, the third speedster who can take the top up off the defense. Not to mention that Najee Harris is going to be fully healthy. What a lot of people didn't know last year that Najee was playing with like an injury early. He had to wear like a special insert for like his foot, so he was dealing with that throughout the first several weeks of the season until he got healthier towards the end, and like the fantasy numbers showed that. So Kenny Pickett, man, he is going to be. I think he's going to take that big leap. I think if you want to draft him, like now, let's don't get carried away here. You still got quarterback that you're supposed to pick before him, but like both of us, like all of us, I guess, we're all in dual QB leagues, right? So having Kenny Pickett as a second quarterback on a dual team, or even if it's like a super flex, you know what I mean? That will be a good ad, man. So Kenny Pickett, I can't say enough good things about him. I can talk about that one for hours, but let me go ahead and get to my next one. Let me go ahead and get to my next one. Jared Goff. Look, we all know that this high powered offense that those guys can produce. And that we'll get that up on the first game of the season, actually, against what better test than to test your might against Patrick Mahomes and those boys, man. That's going to be a fantastic game. I think they got the weapons in the right position. It sucks that they are down wide receiver Jameson Williams. That really sucks. But I think with the addition of Sam Laporta from Iowa, another guy, TJ Hawkinson left. Laporta comes in. They still got the Sun God as well, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They let go of DeAndre Swift, and then they add Jahmyr Gibbs. So they got a lot of firepower. They got a bunch of firepower. If they're clicking on all cylinders, I think that they can, compete with just some of the better offenses in the league. So I'm excited to see what Jared Goff can do. So if you're looking to target him, I think he'll be a pretty good target as far as like QBs are concerned.
Big facts. Jared Goff, somebody I ain't trying to spill the beans. Somebody I might be targeting in today's draft. We'll see. We'll see. Ian, as far as sleepers with quarterbacks, what we got for you?
Sleepers, I got Geno Smith. So I feel like if Geno and the Seahawks can get that running game going, that will set him up perfectly. He got new weapons with, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Now, I don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1, but he should be ready for early in the season. Still got DK, Tyler Lockett. So I think Geno could be a sleeper. If he can come off that big season he had last year and keep that momentum going, I think he should be great for somebody. A great sleeper pick. And another one is a rookie. I think he may shock some people is Anthony Richardson. That's probably a hit or miss, but I think he can shock some people. I think he can put up some nice points with his legs as well. So I think that'd be my 2 sleepers.
Gotcha. So Geno Smith last year in the 2 quarterback league, he kind of saved my behind a little bit because I had drafted Justin Fields and I had drafted Russell Wilson. As we know, Russ was not cooking at all last year, at all.
Not at all.
So I had to just how the barbecue, you have to if you don't like it, you just turn the plate over and just put it in the trash. I had to do that with Russ. Eventually, Justin Fields, he got it together, but Geno kept me afloat. Geno gave me a chance. Yeah. So, I mean, why not, right? Added some weapons there, continuity in the offense. Why not? Yep. Then Anthony Richardson, man. I mean, his floor should be higher than most, right? Because of his legs. He's athletic enough to extend plays, make things happen.
For rushing touchdowns and things like that. So
yeah, especially at the goal line. It kind of somewhat reminds me of maybe a rookie version of Cam Newton to a certain degree.
Yeah,
maybe
I can see the comparison.
Rookie version of Josh Allen to a certain degree, just kind of raw, big, built, athletic. May not have all the tools, developed just yet, but can still make things happen, right? So, and what Deshaun? You know the equation here to be a fantasy stud: opportunity, plus talent. And so he has the opportunity, and he definitely has some raw talent. So we will see there. Running backs. Deshaun, what do we got for running backs here?
Okay, I got a guy that I drafted even inside of our dynasty league, Jamar, because I knew of his potential. I got James Cook, man. I got James Cook. I like him a lot. I think he averaged somewhere between 5.7 yards per carry last year in that offense. We know that running back from Georgia, he was known for catching the ball. So we know what he's going to give you in terms of catching. The only thing I really don't like about it is Josh Allen is still there, and Josh Allen has been the best running back for the Bills for the past few years. You know what I mean? He's going to eat up some of those goal line looks because he is a bigger guy. But the same thing that you guys mentioned about Anthony Richardson is the same reason why I like James Cook a lot. It's a bunch of untapped potential there. I think he can be a 3-down back, especially with his receiving prowess. So I like him a whole lot. And again, that is a Josh Allen-led offense. Any guys are going to get an additional bump for playing with that fantasy superstar. So another guy who my brother actually kind of talked me into this one, into Rachaad White and why he should be productive. Look, I believe Baker Mayfield was named the starter, right?
Correct.
So I think it's going to be a lot of dump offs. You know what I mean? I think they want to get him acclimated to the offense going in. Now, he's not short stars. He still has Mike Evans. He still has Chris Godwin. Both those guys are fantastic whenever they are up on the field. So that'll keep things a little bit open for Rachaad White. So if you're looking to target him, I think that'll be a great addition to any fantasy team, especially as if you can get him at your RB3, say a 10-team PPR or something like that. If you can get him at your RB3 or something like that, that'll be fantastic. So he'll be a nice fill-in for your running back, wide receiver, your flex position, and I think he got potential to give you RB2 upside. Seriously.
So going back to James Cook, I really do like James Cook this year. for a couple reasons. One, they basically gave him the keys to the car, which was somewhat of a crowded backfield last year. But going into this year, he is the guy. Even though they signed Damian Harris, but still, it's like the feeling is James Cook is going to be the one to get majority of the carries. James Cook is the more explosive one, in the fresher legs, and so also you kind of like hearing things out of Buffalo to where they don't want to run as much with Josh Allen now.
Rightfully so, man.
Yeah,
Got to keep that guy upright, man, and healthy.
absolutely. But that's more so. They can say a lot of different things, but completely do something different. But nevertheless, no, I really do like James Cook. Now Rachaad White, that's an interesting one to me. But the fact that there's no, to my understanding, there's no more Lenny, right? I don't think Lenny's there no more. So, I mean, he was drafted, last year, and towards the end of the year had a bigger piece of the offense and became very valuable to certain teams if you had them at the time, played them in your playoff games. Target should be there, I would imagine, in that weak division and probably playing from behind a lot. I mean, Baker's your starter, like you mentioned. So I mean, there's definitely upside there for sure. Ian, what do you have for running backs?
So my first sleeper for running back is Dameon Pierce. He snagged the starting spot last year over there at Houston. So now they got CJ Stroud. Of course, they're going to try to run the ball, take a little pressure off of him. So that should give him enough carries and for him to put up some decent points. He had a very productive season last year in 13 games, rushed for 900 yards. So I mean, if he can come off that momentum from last year, I think he'll be good. He's definitely going to get the ball more this year as running back one, like outright. He won't have to fight for that job no more. So I think from day one he should be definitely a big sleeper. And another one I think is Cam Akers from the Los Angeles Rams. Really no pressure over there. Nobody's really talking about the Rams. They're going to need to establish a run game over there. Can't throw the ball to Cooper Kupp all game, even though they'll probably still do that. But I think Cam Akers, he should have. I think he's primed for another big season.
All right, so Dameon Pierce, I can definitely see, especially you got CJ Stroud. You actually got a quarterback that's a little bit more competent than the one you had last year. So by default, I expect Houston's offense to be a little bit more productive. So that should give more opportunity for Dameon Pierce and not maybe always see 8-9 in the box all the time with that one.
Yeah.
Cam Akers, Cam Akers is a familiar name with us because a couple of years ago, boy, we was on the Cam Akers train for real. And injuries happened and circumstances changed. I actually have Cam Akers in my dynasty league, and I was riding a very emotional roller coaster last year with this man, going from being the starter to almost being cut to basically being traded at the deadline to, oh, you know what? Never mind, you're our starter again. So it's like, I mean, at this point, if you're the Rams and you're a starter for the Rams, what do you have to lose at this point? You got your Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Expectations, like you said, are super low. Like nobody expect anything out of it. So I mean, once again, opportunity plus talent. I don't care what your record is. If you out there being productive, you could be a essential part of my fantasy team. By all means. That's it.
Yeah. So just a little, just to add like a little, extra in there. Like toward the end of the season last year, once things started to like settle down, Cam Akers kind of got down, man. Like he was looking decent, man. Like he had a couple of 100-yard games, and I think from weeks, don't quote me on this, from weeks 10 to 17, he was fantasy's RB8. So like just from that small sample size, and if he can carry that into this season, man, like I don't know. I think that'll be a fantastic sleeper piece. A lot of people aren't eyeing him, and like what Ian mentioned earlier, like man, they ain't got no expectations. Expectation is 0 right now. Cooper Kupp is day to day. He's dealing with like a hamstring thing right now. He's not even a lock to play week 1 or 2 at this point. So those soft tissue injuries, man, like those ain't nothing to play with. So I think this could be Cam's time to shine, man.
I could definitely see it. I mean, that part, the RBA part during the last part, I didn't
Yep.
even know that.
Yep.
And that's impressive. All right, Reed, what do you have for wide receivers for sleepers? Here we go.
George Pickens, bro. Stop. Look, listen, bro. Like he said something like outlandish or whatever. No, it wasn't him. It was I think Ryan Clark.
Ryan Clark.
Yeah, man. Like I forgot what wide receiver that he compared him to. What was it again?
He said he was a more of a talented wide receiver than Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I ain't going, bro. I'm not going. Love George Pickens. I loved him. I absolutely love that pick, but Justin Jefferson, for him to come in and do the things that he did as smoothly as he did it, and I get it, 2 different offenses, 2 different circumstances, different strokes for different teams, right? But George Pickens, make no mistake about it, this guy is a primetime player. Big catch radius, big guy, strong, fast, explosive. He is what you look for in a number 1 wide receiver. Kenny Pickett, I mentioned earlier, is going to take that next big leap with that revamped offensive line. You already know how we get down on the defensive side of the football. It's a lot of things to love about George Pickens this season. So, man, he's going to be fantastic. And one of my favorite players, Jahan Dotson. The reason I say that is, Jamar, I've already said it in previous shows prior last year. I drafted him inside my dynasty league because I knew what this guy's upside could be. I think he led the team in touchdown in receiving touchdowns last season, just one season ago. We already know Scary Terry isn't a guy that's going to get you a lot of TDs. That's not his thing. Like he's going to be able to get you the yards and sometimes like the catches aspect, but he is also going through an injury to begin the season. So that bodes well for Jahan Dotson. He scored a couple of TDs inside the preseason. It seems like he's getting a rapport with Sam Howell, who has been named QB1. So, man, I like him a lot. Like, seriously, if you can get him at wide receiver 3, like as your wide receiver 3, even your wide receiver 4, it's a steal. Like, I mean to say it, I think I feel more highly about him than George Pickens because I think that everybody is kind of more so up on like the Pickens train now, but like he is a complete stash. So I'm telling you, like if it's one player on this both sides of the list that you want to draft, for me, is Jahan Dotson, and I'm being serious, man. I want him in every league.
Ooh, Jahan Dotson. Now,
yeah.
I mean, last year in the middle of the season, you was making me a believer. Taylor Heineke, the Heineken, also known as Shane Falco, was the quarterback, though. That was Sam Howell.
Yeah.
They somewhat believe in that man, I guess, for now. Or unless they on the Caleb Williams tank train on that one. But anyway, I guess my question to you is, can he still take that? I mean, obviously he's talented enough. Was there going to be enough opportunity for him to take that leap, even with Scary Terry there and the questions that may be remained with Sam Howell?
Yeah, I think so. Scary Terry is going to give him enough opportunity to see some. They're gonna. Scary Terry is going to take a lot off of him. I feel like we already know that Terry McLaurin is the guy. He's going to see some double coverage. He's going to see some, underneath and above coverage there. I think that just frees things up for Dotson. Now, again, this is all based upon like how well Sam Howell can play, right? I've seen him do it in like the preseason. I've seen him in big games. I think if he was with another ball club, it'll just be a little bit more obvious to most people because they're not up on like a big market team. Like you don't get a chance to see this guy play. I think I'm probably one of the only people that follow just about every game that he plays just because I believe in this dude. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, like I said, he's been, I think in the 2 leagues that I do have him, I think I drafted him in 1. I wasn't able to secure him in 1 because somebody drafted him in that league, in the Yahoo league. You know what I mean? So right before I was going to pick him too. Right before I was going to pick him. So I was very upset about that. So I'll see you in the season, bro. Don't worry about it.
My bad. But I guess with that, you kind of activated a track card, man. We ain't did this in a while, but you know, we gonna hit him with the name game here. All right, so Ian, if you may not know, so with this, I'm gonna just name a few players that's going around his ADP right now, and both of you all just let me know if you're gonna take Dotson or the next man up. So, all right, with that being said, first one here. Mike Evans or Jahan Dotson.
Oh, I'm still gonna go Mike Evans. Like I as much as I don't like Mike Evans this year, you know that we may get into that a little bit later. But his touchdowns, man, like he can find the end zone. He's a bigger body. He is the unprecedented, you know, wide receiver 1 on that team. Like that's already firmly established. So yeah, give me Mike Evans. Slight, very, very slight.
Yeah. What you thinking, Ian?
Honestly, I don't trust Baker Mayfield. I want to go with Jahan Dotson, and I actually have Jahan Dotson in one of my fantasy leagues right now. So I'm gonna go with Jahan Dotson. I just don't trust the situation that, you know, Mike Evans is in currently. But as Deshaun stated, he is a touchdown machine, especially in the red zone. So I can see why, but I think for me, it's just a situation with Baker. I don't really trust him.
Jerry Jeudy or Jahan Dotson?
Jerry Jeudy out with an injury right now, man. He's probably going to miss the first 4 to 5 games of the season. So that's Dotson easily.
All right, matter of fact, let me pull that. Cortland Sutton or Jahan Dotson?
It's tough because Jerry Jeudy is out now. They still got. I'm gonna go Dotson.
That's a tough one. I don't know what rest we're gonna get. New offense.
Sean Payton led offense too, though. So it's supposed to be a little bit better.
Hold some weight.
I might slightly go Sutton, just because I'll probably trust, like you said, Sean Payton's offense more, and Russ should have a much better year. So I'll take Sutton slightly over Jahan Dotson on that one.
All right, I got 2 more for you all. Deontay Johnson or Jahan Dotson?
Dotson.
I might go Deontay Johnson with this one.
Oof. Okay. Tyler Lockett or Jahan Dotson?
Dotson.
Oof.
I mean, listen, look.
Tyler Lockett.
Look, I get it. Look, I get it. Tyler Lockett has been fantastic, right? 1,000 yards receiving, I think, over the past couple of seasons. Plays with DK. It's just the whole Jackson Smith and Jigba thing that kind of more so scares me. If he wasn't there, it'll be easy. It'll be easy pickings.
Yeah.
Like easy. He plays with the more competent quarterback. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Geno Smith is more competent than Sam Howell. Like we wasn't saying that like, you know, three years ago, but but yeah, it's I don't know. I believe in this dude. Like I do. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, fair enough. You both survived the ringer. I appreciate that. All right, so I got a lot going on here. Okay. All right. Ian, what we got for sleepers at wide receiver?
Okay, so my first sleeper, I don't think he's really a sleeper, but I think he may go under the radar, you know, after some of the big names due to him not playing last year. My first one is Calvin Ridley. I got Calvin Ridley. I think him and Trevor Lawrence, I think they're going to have a special connection this year. I think you'll see him extend into that number 1 receiver talk, maybe even top 10 receiver in the league talk. The talent is there. The kid, he can do pretty much any and everything. It's just him missing that whole year. We have to see how that works out and get him acclimated in the offense and just getting back in game shape and things of that nature. But I think he should have a big year. And my second one, Bears fans, don't kill me. I got my Bears hat on right now. But Christian Watson, I think if Jordan Love turns out to be a decent quarterback, he could be he will be a big target for him. So I can see him having a pretty productive year. He looked like he was turning the corner with Aaron Rodgers last year later on. So we'll see how Christian Watson does. I think he'll be a big target for them.
Agreed. And Jamar, before you like you were going into a conniption there. Before I'll give you a little time to like settle yourself down. So let me just go ahead and jump in. So look, Calvin Ridley, dude, I'm so glad that you mentioned that. Man, you hit everything that I was about to say, Ian, about Calvin Ridley, considering that top 10 talent as far as wide receivers are concerned. I think he automatically jumps back in that. Look, in my opinion, top 5 route runner in the league. It's so smooth how he gets in and out of his routes. It's just seamlessly, from the way that he cuts, from the way that he plants, from the way that his double moves. Like, he got everything working. Like, he got everything that you would want inside of a wide receiver, the speed, the ability. But I think the thing that makes him great is just like that separation. No, he isn't going to blow you away with his 40 time. No, he isn't the strongest wide receiver. No, he isn't built like a DK Metcalf. But that guy is the real deal, bro. He is fantastic as a wide receiver one to a football team. And you mentioned it, Ian. We just want to see him play in game shape, right? We want to make sure that he is back because he is a full year removed from football, basically. So, yeah.
All right. So before I even get into what I want to say here, we got our first comment here from Fat Golfer.
Fat Golfer.
Hey guys, I drafted Adam Thielen and Allen Lazard in very late rounds. Are either of them start worthy as a wide receiver 3 this year? If so, which one will be better?
I think.
So the Lizard is playing back with Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yep.
And the Jets, and Adam Thielen kind of has a rookie quarterback leading the charge there.
Yeah, receiver 1. Yep, and Carolina.
So I guess my first question is to this. I guess how deep is your league?
That would mean a lot, whether it be 10 or 12 team or anything more than 12. Then hopefully. Yeah. But I'm gonna have to probably go with. Okay, so unofficial depth charts, you guys.
Yeah.
How far is Allen Lazard on that depth chart? Wide receiver 2. I mean, we already know Garrett Wilson's the man, right?
I'm thinking 2, just based on just because I mean last year, who did they have outside of Wilson?
Did they still have Elijah Moore?
No, he's with Cleveland. Corey Davis retired.
Last year. Yeah.
Last year.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, last year.
They had Moore. They had Davis. Yeah.
But I know both of them are gone, so
Lazard could.
I mean, I know they got Randall Cobb. No, it's Randall Cobb.
Man,
Lazard.
Randall Cobb is a water boy at this point.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm a lean more so towards the Lizard because he is a little bit more familiar with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And it just seems like he can make a push, to just be able to get some of those targets outside of Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson going to be a target. Oh, okay. That makes it even better. I mean, I guess I'm okay with that. That they are both wide receiver 2s.
So, all right. So, situations like this, other factors you got to take into consideration. So, who's the better quarterback? Obviously, it's Aaron Rodgers. Who offense is more better? The Jets by default. But then it's like the last thing is target share, right? I know they both quote unquote wide receiver 2s, but I would imagine Adam Thielen may have more critical opportunities to get more targets here. I would imagine so. but it's more so can Bryce Young have enough time to put the ball in the money to give him the ball.
That's my biggest thing because of the rookie quarterback being there. And I know sometimes they do like to lean up on those security blankets, which could be tight ends or a dump off, but a slot receiver can be just that as well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that would be the biggest thing for me, just the situation. Like you say, Allen Lazard he's more, accomplished and with Aaron Rodgers, so he'll be very comfortable with him. But like you guys stated, Adam Thielen can be that safety blanket for Bryce. It's just, is he going to be able to get him the ball? Because I think the kid was getting murdered in preseason, so I don't know how that's going to go.
Right. And, the Jets' offensive line isn't the greatest in the world either, but like I have more confidence in Aaron Rodgers navigating through that right now
than Bryce.
Yeah, so but as of right now, I'm going the Lizard, but I mean, this is something, just keep an eye on. I feel like the first 4 weeks are telling to get an idea if everything stay constant as far as health and things like that. I think the month of September will give you an idea.
Yeah, I think I understand the reason why he's or she is conflicted. Because both of these guys kind of give you similar production, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, man, like which one do you really play? But you got to go with the opportunity, man, and you got to go with the better quarterback because at the end of the day, who's going to be giving them the football? It's going to be the QB there. And I just checked both depth charts. Yeah, the Lizard is firmly supplanted as wide receiver 2 right now. So I'm going Lizard.
Yeah. Same. Trifecta?
Yep.
Trifecta. And then the last thing I'll say, continuity. Aaron Rodgers is familiar with the Lizard as well, so that helps out a lot, especially with broken plays. He has one more here. Also, should I start Dameon Pierce or DeAndre Swift in week 1?
So the first thing we got to look at here is the matchups, right? I'm going to say this. Look, and I know that we was going to get into this up on like the latter part of the show. That DeAndre Swift thing, we all know that DeAndre Swift has the potential to be a good running back, right? But I'm hearing, and this is just what I'm hearing, it's going to be a timeshare there. It's going to be a timeshare. And as of right now, I hear that Kenny Gainwell is going to be RB1. DeAndre Swift is going to be RB2. Don't know how that is going to go into the season right now. Fact check me if I'm wrong, Jamar. Just pull up the depth chart or whatever the case may be. I'm sure that they are done with, the 53-man rosters at this point, correct? So, yeah. Some guys have been moving around, but I don't personally like DeAndre Swift this season. I don't, to be completely honest. I like Dameon Pierce. I like him being a young running back inside of an offense that isn't truly established. I like for them to be able to lean up on him a little bit more. Now, if it wasn't such a crowded backfield and Rashad Penny, Kenny Gainwell, DeAndre Swift, I would definitely go DeAndre Swift. But Dameon Pierce, it seems like he just got a road to a better fantasy production season. So.
Yeah. So Texans are at Baltimore, but also Eagles are at New England. And what you were saying is basically what I was about to mention too, that I think that's by committee over there. Mm-hmm. The Eagles have been by committee for as long as I can remember in the last few years by default. Even with Miles Sanders there, you still had Gainwell. You still had Boston Scott. That part is tough. Dameon Pierce is he's gonna have the opportunity, so I would roll with Pierce. I definitely would roll with Pierce. So then really quick, our good pal, our good brother, Brandon Pierce says, "Good morning, gents."
You just call that man Brandon Pierce? So disrespectful this morning.
Brandon Price.
I'm off. What's good? I got your back, Brandon. What's good? What's good, Brandon? Man, he just excited about football, you guys.
I am, man.
I didn't get mad at this man.
Yeah, I was imagining Brandon, taking 12 carries for my team real quick. But just so everybody knows, Brandon, Ian, and I, we do the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast live on Saturday mornings.
Yep.
On multiple platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you can find us. So yeah, man. Sorry, Brandon. Too much football right now.
Call that man, Brent. Go ahead and suit up, bro. You might as well.
Armando, what's up, bro? He says, should we stay away from older running backs like King Henry? Whew. So, as we know, the running backs are being disrespected a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
But the main reason why they're being disrespected is because running backs' lifespan in NFL is probably the shortest, just in general. So I feel like King Henry is an anomaly. He has basically been an anomaly for like the last 5 years, to the fact that nobody of his stature, of his size, should be running as fast and doing the things that he's doing. I think King Henry is still worth your RB1 for sure. Now we know that Derrick Henry isn't, heavily involved in the passing game, but it seems like that to a certain degree he's almost matchup proof, because even with Tannehill or Willis or Levis or Jamar Goodman behind quarterback at this point, and with 8-9 in the box, King Henry still get his when healthy. And so I wouldn't avoid King Henry or anybody around. Well, specifically, I wouldn't avoid King Henry. Now, would I have, a slight hesitation? Sure. Just because he is getting up there and, he was a little hurt last year. But I mean, let me ask you all this. I know Christian McCaffrey is, on a different stratosphere because of what he can do, but prior to last year, that man's been a hurt machine. But would you still have the same hesitation with Christian McCaffrey as you would Derrick Henry, just in general?
No, I would say no. And you mentioned it earlier, Jamar. Some guys are just the exception to the rule, and that dude is the exception to the rule. Until he proves that he's not going to rush for 1,400 yards every freaking season, I'm going to fire him up. Now, and again, you mentioned it as well, Jamar. He doesn't give you much in terms of the passing game, right? So running backs I would like over him, you know what I mean? I would definitely take CMC. You mentioned him. I would take Saquon Barkley because he gives you more inside the passing game. You mentioned him. Even Jonathan Taylor gives you more inside the passing game. You mentioned him. But at this point, right now, with Taylor not playing the first 4 games of the season, if you kind of want to slide Henry into that, Austin Eckler, the disrespect. Definitely taking Austin Eckler over him. But right after that, I can see King Henry going as RB4 off the board, RB5, somewhere around there. And I think I'm feeling okay about that.
Fair enough. Yeah, what you thinking?
I'm taking Derrick Henry. Anytime I can get him, I'm taking him, just simply because the quarterback situation, they're gonna lean heavy on Derrick Henry. So he's gonna get the ball 20 plus times easy. And like Deshaun stated, he's gonna keep putting up 1,500 yards, 1,600 yards, hell, 2,000 yards. I'm gonna take him every time. Now, like he stated, these other guys, like Alvin Kamara, guys like that that's getting the ball out the backfield, that's gonna, line up at receiver, line up in the slot. Yeah, I'll take those guys too, and they'll probably get, more points just simply off coming out of the backfield. But I mean, he's simply right there along with them, just coming straight out the backfield, just off handoff. So yeah, I'll take him. I'll take him anytime.
Yeah. So yeah, Mondo, don't be too hesitant, especially on Derrick Henry. Now, other guys that's probably around his age, that's taking a lot of beating, yeah, maybe some more hesitation than usual. But Henry, he's king into the throne, in my opinion. So, and then Fat Golfer said, "Thanks, guys. I'll be back on your channel Sunday mornings this season.
Appreciate you, bro.
Definitely. So that being said,
So with that, I just want to add,
yeah,
Jamar, real quick. So Derrick Henry finished as RB4 last season. You know what I mean? RB4 in front of a couple of guys that I pretty much named: Austin Eckler, Christian McCaffrey. Josh Jacobs was RB3, which is kind of, definitely didn't see that coming. So I still think he finishes around that same thing. Like I said, if he's getting taken off the board around RB4 to 4 to 5, I'm okay with that. I can live with that.
long love the king, or maybe long live the king. Either way, thanks, fellas. Appreciate
no
you.
No doubt.
All right. I had a lot of time to decompress and get back into this.
We want to hear you talk about Christian Watson first. Talk about it, man.
Yeah. Give us your take on C. Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that smells like government cheese, I don't know. I'm playing. No, biases aside. No, I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, Christian Watson, I mean, he can definitely blow the top off of defense. Christian Watson is he definitely has a high ceiling because it was shown by Aaron Rodgers last year. Now, I guess the only thing is like you mentioned, and basically the number one question for the Packers: how good is Jordan Love going to be, or Jordan hate? I don't know. If they're gonna hate him or love him. I don't know. But is the opportunity there? Sure. It's just, I guess, once again, back on Jordan Love. So I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible here with that one. And of course, Calvin Ridley. Who doesn't?
Dang, that was
Calvin?
it. That was it.
Yeah.
Bro? Okay, go ahead.
I'm saving it up for the season. I'm just waiting. Once I come in and see a stat line of 2 catches for 18 yards, stuff like that. I'll save it for that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is our first week back. Relax. You gotta let me build back up to it. It's been a minute.
If he didn't play for the Packers, you would have no issue, my brother.
Yep.
I cannot confirm or deny.
It's the 2 catches at 18 yards for me.
The disrespect, man.
It wouldn't even be his fault though if it did. See, I can be nice. But yeah, Calvin Ridley. Who doesn't love Calvin Ridley? And the fact that Calvin Ridley, matter of fact, the other day I was telling you about how I'm crazy surprised how low Calvin Ridley's ADP is. Like, that's one of those out of sight, out of mind things that's like you mentioned. I mean, the man missed the year, but if we're not mistaken, when he was playing a couple years ago, I'm pretty sure he was a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he was up there. I mean, he pretty much took over Julio Jones' spot in that offense. It was the Calvin Ridley show. So yeah, really, I'm all definitely on board for that. All right, Reed, what you got for tight end sleepers?
I got Sam Laporta. Look, so exits another Iowa Hawkeye tight end, enters another Iowa Hawkeye tight end. Iowa's been like tight end U lately, bro. Like, they've been pumping them out, pumping out some of the best tight ends. Hawkinson was super productive with Detroit from his time there. I think it was like mid-season, right?
Yeah.
When he had the trade to division rival Minnesota. And if you couple both years together, he finished as tight end 2 last year. Right behind the great Travis Kelce. You know what I mean? I think he had 900 some yards. Not sure about how many TDs he had, but I know he was really close to that 1,000-yard season. So I think that this guy comes in. I think that he's a big body. Jared Goff should be able to find him early and often. You got the Sun guy out there. I can't say enough good things about Amon-Ra St. Brown. That dude is phenomenal, man. So I think they got enough there to be able to clear the way for this guy, man. And I like him a lot, even as like a first season guy. Tight end is thin, as we all know. I'm not sure if you can name after tight end 3, 4-ish, they're all the same, right? They're going to give you somewhere of like similar production. So I think that he'll be a nice stash. I think by default, he should finish somewhere inside or just outside the top 10. just in my humble opinion.
Bless you. Before Ian, I'll let you go. I do have a question for Ian though. Does Sam Laporte have enough grit? Does he
I
have
mean, at
enough
this point, he doesn't have a choice, bro. He don't have a choice.
That is a correct answer. All right, so for your tight ends, what we got here?
So my sleepers, I got Tyler Higbee, and I have Dalton Kincaid from the Bills. So as far as Tyler Higbee goes, I think like same thing with Cam Akers. No expectations over there. Safety blanket for Matthew Stafford. Pretty good tight end since he's been in the league. So that's why I would have him as a sleeper. And Dalton Kincaid is a great tight end rookie coming in. Deshaun stated where we were talking before we went on. They'll be in a lot of double tight end sets, so he'll get a lot of opportunity to show what he got out here.
Yeah, fair enough. And then we got one here from Foxborough News. You guys are back.
Officially.
And the famous words of the other podcast, we're back like a shark attack, back where we ain't got no clothes on our back. We back, man. We are definitely back. But yeah, the Kincaid one, like I do like. It's more so I just like their offense in general. I do. So the opportunity, he should have a plethora of opportunity to find the end zone a few times here and there. Everybody eats in that offense except for Gabe Davis. Anyway, all right. Bust. I didn't get a chance to prepare yours, Deshaun, but do you have any busts for us?
Oh yeah. Just give me a little second and I'll pull it back up because like I would still have like all my stats and stuff pulled up. Give me a second.
All right, do your thing. Oh man. Bust.
Okay.
You ready?
Nah, yeah. Nah, go ahead. Finish what you was about to say.
I mean, more so I'm letting you all do this, but I'm just throwing a name out there that I'm not too fond of, even though I think a lot of people are. I'm not. And I'll say my reasoning for later, but the name drop is Travis Etienne. But go ahead.
Oh, what?
Oh.
What?
Is it health reasons?
No. I'll get back to it. I promise I will.
Okay. So let me just go ahead and start with quarterbacks. I'm gonna say Derek Carr. Like I don't like it, and that's just plain and simple. I don't like it. Somebody tried to. We had a conversation yesterday. I talk football all the time, every day, just about every day. We talk about football up until the point that football is back. Then we start talking about more football. But someone was trying to make the case of Derek Carr having just as good as of a season as Jared Goff. And I wasn't going, bro. I wasn't going at all. It's too many things working against him. Look, I know that Chris Olave is there. Derek Carr, he, as everybody knows, he's from, Vegas going right to the Saints this year, first year with the Saints. No, Michael Thomas is there. I'm not sure what to think about him. They got backfield turmoil. Love Jamal Williams, by the way. Love that guy. I think he as long as Alvin Kamara is going to be out, I think he's going to be good. He's going to be a very safe play. But I just don't like the things that are going on with the Saints. Yeah, they play in a bum division. Yeah, I think they can actually potentially win that division. I just don't think Derek Carr will be good enough to warrant those QB2 numbers that he was saying. I think I can, have a lot more other quarterbacks that I would choose over Derek Carr.
I feel you there. Real quick before we continue. So Foxborough says 16-man hit half PPR. Ooh. I got the 16th pick also. What's a good way to hit this? Okay. As me and you, Foxborough, we shared this last year, the 16 team. Unfortunately, my 16 team got dropped to a 14 team this year. So it, two people dropped out. But it's basically the same principle here for me. As I was somewhat telling you earlier before we hopped on, Deshaun.
Mhm.
So the deeper, like the more teams in the draft, the more, in my opinion, you want to have, you want to be elite at scarce positions, which is pretty much at that point it's tight end for sure, and to a certain degree quarterback, to a certain degree, because the running backs, I feel like lately in the last couple of years, the elite, like the RB1s, the elite RB1s, like, how we've been drafting for so long, they haven't been as healthy lately. And you kind of get burnt on that. And it'd be the ones that, like, Jared McKinnon or Rashad White. Those are the ones that for more times than not lately has been more steady in that aspect. Wide receivers come a dime a dozen, that's tight end. And I doubt that Travis Kelce will be there for you at 16. But so when you're in a deep league like this, there's no such thing as a reach at that point, especially with you having the back-to-back. You can reach for whoever you want, and it's not going to be considered a reach. So therefore, you make sure that you are going to get you two players that is going to be pretty much as a sure thing as it possibly can get. Maybe a stack, maybe a stack between a quarterback and a elite wide receiver at that point, if there's one still available. Like, for whatever reason, what if Stephon Diggs was there, right? And Josh Allen was there. Like, I would consider that type of stack, because that's going to be usually automatic points more times than not, right? Mm-hmm. Something like that. If Travis Kelce isn't there, if Travis Kelce there, I'm taking Travis Kelce and maybe Patrick Mahomes, and that stack can be done with it.
No way Travis Kelce is going to last until the 16th.
I know. But, it's just something like that. You got to make sure you whoever you pick at that point, they got to be a sure thing.
Yep. I completely agree, Jamar. And look, I know you got a little bit more experience with like the deeper leagues, more so than I do, because you still got that 20-man team going on, right? yeah. That is insane, bro. Yo, me and Lil Vic was talking about that yesterday. So shout out to my cousin, because him and I are in a 14-team league. And I know it's not 16, but I use an approach similar to Jamar's. So if I'm sitting at 14, I know for a fact that it's going to be a couple of players. So it's going to be a mixture, right? It's going to be a mixture of wide receivers. Travis Kelce is going to be going, as well as it may be a quarterback that's going to be taken, whether it be Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes may be taken within that 16. Be that as it may, in my opinion, what I would want to go for with that pick is a running back. With that very first pick as a running back. I don't care what you do with that second one, but make sure that you still get you a stud running back with that pick, because in the 16-team league, once that goes back around to your turn, you already mentioned, Jamar, you got to hit on those first two picks. That is crucial. If you miss, bro, like on like that second pick, like it's like your value of your whole team is going to like drop. So like, let's just say, for instance, what running back would be there at 16? I'm just thinking, Jamar, give me some ADPs there, because like this one is pretty fun or whatever. Give me like ADP around 16 of
I would say
back.
Maybe Joe Mixon.
Give me another one. I'm not feeling too good about that one.
Not too good about that one.
Nah.
Okay.
Just kind of think about like some wide receivers getting taken off the board. Like, just say Cooper Kupp is gone. Just say,
okay. So like, you might mess around Josh Jacobs, maybe, depending on the league. Tony Pollard might be around.
There you go. That's around that level. So if I'm sitting right there with one of those two guys, I'm feeling okay about it. I'm okay with taking Pollard, who is the guy now, or I'm okay with taking Josh Jacobs. Go ahead. Say
now, one player I would, because in the 16-team league, I expect somebody to reach way out of proportion a couple of times. But if at that point, a player that I do love, I know you mentioned running back, and that's fine. A player that I do love, though, Garrett Wilson. If you can get your hands on Garrett Wilson around that turn, I love it. Absolutely love it. That means you don't really have to spend up on Aaron Rodgers just yet. You can get Aaron Rodgers later, because Aaron Rodgers' ADP is so low. You can still get your can't miss player at 1.
At
Get
16,
Garrett Wilson.
he should be there. He
should.
will be there more time than none.
Unless somebody else is thinking the same thing.
But
But
the whole reaching thing, that's you kind of want that though inside of a deep league like this. You want somebody to make that mistake. That just shores up a player that's for sure for you. You know,
right? What I mean? You would want somebody, and it's more so you want these people to start reaching on specifically quarterbacks, right?
Yep.
So of course, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. But if you see somebody taking Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow before you get your pick, you start to feel good about yourself.
Yep.
So I mean, that's fun, man. Like playing in like deep leagues like that and trying to develop a strategy is fun. I like that.
It is. Got my 14 teamer tonight. I'm excited about that one.
Same. I got my 14 teamer tonight too. I'm ready to roll, bro.
But last thing I say, I forgot that I did have that 20 team draft. That was insane.
Yuck, bro. Yuck, man. That is tough, my boy. I don't know, man.
But there's no way I should have got Tyreek Hill at pick 13. I'll tell you that much.
I'm with you.
And then he says, because of Tank, and I guess that's more so back to my Travis Etienne name drop bomb.
Bigsby.
Yeah. So it's for me, it's a couple of things. Like for one, like last year, I love Travis Etienne. I did. I really did. And I mean, for the most part, he came through. He really did. Once, they gave him the keys to the car. I mean, he was cool. So for starters, it's like it's not enough for me and not enough volume in the passing game as of now. And then when you add in Calvin Ridley back into the fold, that just takes away more targets for him. Tanks Bigsby being there, I mean, I think that takes away from TD production. I might be nitpicking here, but I don't think he's going to finish as high as his ADP right now. And that's why I label him a bust. I don't think he's going to be like a super dud out here like Russell Wilson or anything from last year, but I just think based on ADP, that's why I'm labeling him as a bust. That's my reasoning. So it ain't got nothing to do with his ability because he definitely a great player, but it's just more so where he's being drafted at. That's my particular beef with that.
No, I got one like that too that we're gonna get into here just in a minute. I think everybody's gonna be like, "What?" But I'll tell you why here in a second.
All right. So before we get to that, Ian, who do you have as bust for QB?
So one, for obvious reasons, Kyler Murray. So he'll be out the first couple weeks. Then just their whole direction, even during the season. I mean, I don't know what Arizona is doing. I wouldn't even be surprised he won't be there very long. And my last one is Dak Prescott. From the clips I've been seeing of Dak Prescott in training camp, I hope those clips and those throws stay in practice because we might see Trey Lance quicker than we expect.
That'd be trash.
So, yeah, I mean, those are my two. I think I don't know what's going on with Dak. Dak has to keep the turnovers down. He claimed he's not going to have over 10 interceptions this year. So, hopefully he stick to his word. But those are my two for sure.
Dude might mess around, have 10 interceptions by the end of September. Jeez. Dude, Kyler Murray ain't been the same since the Rams made them pad the sticks in that playoff game a couple years ago. Ain't the same.
I don't know mentally or and physically, but yeah, he hasn't. It seemed like that game took a toll on him. The internet trolled him after that game, and I don't know. He hasn't been the same since.
Nope, not at all. All right, Reed, what you got for running backs?
Okay, so I knew that we was gonna slide right into this one, and please don't kill me for this one. I love this guy, man.
Get ready to kill him.
I like him a lot. And he did very, very good things. I'm just gonna say maybe you guys know who I'm trying to lean toward. Running back, rookie season, rushed for over 1,000 yards. He was fantastic last season.
Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker.
Ah.
Kenneth Walker. And look, before you beat me up here, before you guys beat me up, I like him a lot, right? Jamar, you know I got him in my dynasty league. Like he started a lot of games for me, helped me win a lot of football games. Be that as it may, I think it's for a similar reason, Jamar. I think he isn't going to live up to the ADP in which he's been taken at the moment. Look, they already added Zach Charbonnet. It's actually fantastic in college, and they're going to give him a little bit of an opportunity here. Is what Pete Carroll has been saying. Now, look, I'm not saying that he's just going to go out there and rush for 600 yards and 5 TDs. No, I still think he gets to that stack. You know what I mean? But I just think expectations should be tempered, considering this was a guy who didn't really get the nod until like week 4 or 5 of last season, and he still got 1,000 yards rushing. He still had 9 rushing TDs, I believe. Right. So,
I think so,
it's somewhere around there. But I mean, as far as a rookie who no one had any expectations for, he was fantastic. He was a reason why the Seahawks were formidable last year. You know what I mean? It just seems like I just don't think that he'll live up to that ADP. And I like him a lot, man. Like I like how he runs. I like how they utilize him inside the offense. He has big play ability, but one thing that I kind of like dived into, I am a statistics guy. Like if you dive into like a lot of his rushes and carries, so he has a decent yard per carry average, but like he'll hit you for 1, 2, 3 yards per carry, but a lot of it is, he'll hit you for like that big one. He'll have a 27-yard rush in there. He'll have a 37-yard rushing. So he's always looking for a bigger play, but take away those bigger plays, I don't think he is as fantastic as you really think he is. And again, he's good, bro. He's good, and I love him a lot. And I think I even drafted him inside one league as my RB2. I'm just saying, I just don't think that he'll live up to just that ADP that they have him at now.
Oh, that's completely fair. We're not gonna kill you for that one. We're not. I get it. Kenneth Skywalker. I mean, this dude was a monster last year, but yeah, from what I remember, like the highlights I've seen, it was always the home run ball that got him to where he needed to be.
Yep.
And also, I do have his backfield mate, Charbonnet in the Dynasty League. I mean, from what I'm hearing the same thing you're hearing. So, yeah, I get that. Ian, who do we have for yours at running back?
My bust at running back, I have Miles Sanders. So I just don't know as far as this O-line goes, how are they gonna hold up this year? It didn't look so good in the preseason. So and then rookie quarterback, and can Miles Sanders be? So the talent is there for sure, but can he be a every down back? I don't know who's RB2 over there.
Chuba.
So that would be my thing. Oh, Chuba Hubbard, yeah, Chuba Hubbard. So yeah, I mean that plays a big part too, because I know he'll get a lot of carries as well. So it'll be a 2-man race over there. So yeah, I don't know. Even I mean, is Miles Sanders even running back 1?
He is.
Or is it so he's RB1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just the situation. I don't know if how that O-line will hold up.
No, I mean that's fair. I mean, Miles Sanders' career, I feel like overall has been underwhelming as far as production that we have hoped out of him. O-line plays a big part in running back productions by far. The only thing that maybe could save face from him, maybe he gets a lot of dink and dunks here, but other than that, I mean,
yeah,
it's tough, especially with a rookie quarterback. It's tough. So the rookie's supposed to lean on the running back, but the offensive line not protecting, and it's like, what offense do you have? So yep. I get it. All right, wide receivers, who you got, Mr. Reed?
I got 2 actually. So the first, I'm gonna go with Mike Evans. Ian, you mentioned it earlier. You and I were in agreement there, and for all of the same reasons, bro. Look, they're taking a step back, as far as like an offense. No more Tom Brady there. Insert Baker Mayfield, and I get it. Like he kind of did his thing with the Rams toward the latter part of the season last year. To be able to come straight up on the plane, learn an offense, still playing the game, and still make you competitive at said game. I mean, that's pretty tough for anybody to do. So I got to tip my hat to Baker Mayfield in that regard. But still Baker Mayfield, bro. And look, it's for a number one wide receiver on a team. I just don't think he'll be able to. I think I would probably rather have Chris Godwin more than I would have Mike Evans this year. And I get it. Mike Evans has played with a lot of terrible quarterbacks before Brady got there, right? Played with famous Jameis, and I don't know the other couple quarterbacks that they had there, but they were trash as well. So he is able to, you know what I mean? Kind of still be relevant, DeAndre Hopkins-esque, because he's played with a bunch of bum quarterbacks in his career as well. But you got to give a knock to the fact that he will be, I think 30 when like the season starts. So like he's getting up there in age. They're 1 year removed from, like the whole Tom Brady era. I think they take a step back as an offense. And dare I say it, I think this will be the first year Mike Evans does not have 1,000-yard season in his whole entire career. So like that's going to be tough. Going to be sad to see, but I just can't see it happening considering that he barely got there last year with Brady. So I can't see him doing that with Baker Mayfield this year. Is it a possibility? Absolutely. If it's somebody that I trust to give me 1,000 yards, it's going to be Mike Evans, but temper expectations.
Ooh. All right. Who you do you have another one or that was it?
Yeah, it's also Deontay Johnson for me. Look, this dude 0 touchdowns last season. 0, bro. Like, so you were just out there running a bunch of routes and catching a lot of balls, and you weren't like getting utilized inside like the red zone. You let a rookie show you up. I mean, look, man, like this dude broke my heart, man. He broke my heart, man. A bunch last season. A bunch, man. Like, how do you not get inside the end zone for him being drafted around the same time as a George Pickens? Are you kidding me? That's not fair. That's not fair. So I'm glad that they are recognizing George Pickens as the alpha wide receiver 1, and they're, sliding Deontay Johnson over to wide receiver 2. I think he's even okay with that. And again, I do think that he'll score this year, but I don't like him.
Boy, oh boy. And I think you all shared the same sentiment from Mike Evans. Am I right, Ian, on that one?
Yeah, I think, Mike Evans was my biggest bust. Just, the whole Baker Mayfield situation. I mean, like I stated earlier, I don't trust Baker, so that's a huge downgrade, going from Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield. Granted, Tom didn't have the best year last year, physically. I mean, he's almost 50 years old. I mean, that's a given. And he still put up 1,000 yards like Deshaun stated. So, like you said, Baker Mayfield, he came in off the plane basically and, made those guys competitive. That is impressive for anybody. But, I mean, like you stated, it's still Baker Mayfield, and he's pretty much had weapons his whole career, and it just never works out. So I don't see what would be the difference now.
Ooh, I feel it. Tight end. Who you got, Reed?
0. I have 0 tight ends up on my blessed list. After you get past like a certain, let me just go ahead and pull up a list for you here. Okay, so Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson. I'm gonna throw in Darren Waller, Kittle, and Pitts, right? So after those guys, it's like, okay, so I'm gonna give a nod to Dallas Goedert. I'm gonna give a nod to my boy Pat Freiermuth. I'm gonna give a nod to Evan Ingram. But after that, you're already at tight end 10. You know what I mean? Which is basically David and Njoku. Like you're gonna be, basically you're gonna be throwing darts, man. Basically blindfolded. So like they're gonna all give you similar production. So I can't really say if it's gonna be a draft bust. Only thing I can tell you is to pick one of those guys that I named, and you should be all right. Because if you don't, it's gonna be a huge drop off. And I'm being serious. From wide receiver 1 to wide receiver 2 is already a steep drop off. From Travis Kelce to Mark Andrews. big drop off. Doesn't even seem like it, but it is, because you're talking about 1,400 yards and about 12 TDs to about 900 yards and about 7 TDs. That's crazy. So yeah,
That's wild. And then Ian finishes off with the bust. Who you got?
Cal.
No.
So it's crazy. So I actually drafted Cal Pitts. So the only reason I will say Cal Pitts because I don't know what we're gonna get from Desmond Ridder, and he's coming off an injury as well. But I do feel like he'll still produce. But what is Desmond Ridder gonna give us? Is he gonna produce? Is he gonna be a formidable starting quarterback in this league, or are they going to be the number one pick next year? And they have plenty of talent. They just got Bijan Robinson. I think Drake London could be a stud. They have talent on the defensive side as well. They just got Jeff Okudah and Jeremy Bate. So it's just all come down to quarterback play, and they play in a pretty soft division now. So it's just come down to quarterback play and Zach Ertz. Like I stated with the whole Kyler Murray situation, I don't know the Cardinals' direction. Kyler won't be there for the first 4 to 5 weeks. He's on IR, so that whole direction as that team, they just look like it just looks real messy over there, and it looks like they probably going into a rebuild. So
Zach Ertz, one, I'm not gonna argue with you. I got a bone to pick with Cal Pitts.
I will add to it. I will add to it. Go ahead, man.
So I get it. If we're basing it based on what he did last year, and that's how your feelings are, I get it. I get it. Me, and I explained this to you all before. It's like I'm more of the guy that one man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm sitting out here just. Oh, I know for a fact they're not gonna like you all, but I'll take you because I feel like you're gonna have a productive year. So I'm just filling up my cart filled with I'm basically collecting the trash before the garbage truck comes down the street. I'm just picking up stuff off the side of the road. Cal Pitts is one of those off the side of the road, and I believe that more so because the biggest thing for me is there's no more Marcus Mariota. I think that one right there is the one that really killed his value a lot last year. I think Ridder definitely has a better pocket presence. And even if it's not Ridder, I'm okay with Heineke come in and be the quarterback to get the production out of these guys. I firmly believe that Drake London's going to have a good year. I believe Kyle Pitts is going to have a good year. And by default, Bijan Robinson is going to have a good year. I'm to the point to where, yesterday I on the other podcast, I ended up picking the Falcons to win the division for this year. So I just think I believe Cal is going to actually turn the corner this year because he's actually has somebody that can probably give him the ball accurately in positions the way he can succeed, and also just the feeling here. I just don't need Cal Pitts turning into OJ Howard out here. Please don't. So yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to agree in terms with Ian as far as like the quarterback play. Like I don't know what the Riddler is gonna, I'm not sure what he's gonna be able to give you. But Jamar, you mentioned that even if the Riddler isn't gonna play up to par, you still got Heineke there. Like he should be able to come in and at least spark the offense, right?
Yeah.
But you mentioned the skill positions. You mentioned Drake London. You mentioned Kyle Pitts. You missing Tyler Algier, who rushed for over 1,000 yards last season. Yeah. Cordero Patterson, Bijan Robinson. Every running back that has been taken, every rookie running back has been taken in like the first round, has done well over like the past 8 seasons. So it's like they finished as a top 15 running back. Those are just straight facts. So Bijan Robinson will do fine. Even if he doesn't, they still got Algier and Cordero Patterson who can even take some backfield reps. So I think they have a young up-and-coming offense. It's just the only thing that they don't have is quarterback. You mentioned the Jesse Bates pickup from Cincinnati. So he's over there playing safety. They got, in addition, as far as like linebacker with Caden Ellis and Troy Anderson, So I mean, look, man, things are kind of looking up for Atlanta right now, and I got them actually winning that division. I do. It all comes down to QB play.
Yep.
Like seriously, it all comes down to QB play. But Kyle Pitts, it's too many opportunities for him not to be able to shine. Get your big ass inside the end zone. That's what I need to see him do. Seriously, you're too big to not be in the end zone, bro.
Yep.
Like if I'm staring at this 6'6" physical specimen and like I can throw him a dart inside the just throw it up there. He's gonna go make a play on it. Let him be able to make a play. You know what I mean? We need to see that dude in the end zone, bro. Seriously.
Right. Yep.
Oh man, that's like the meme I saw. It was like, if you dating a chick over 6 feet and she over here complaining about something, you're like, man, you don't get your butt in the post and get down there and get some buttons. Oh man,
He's too big not to be scoring, bro.
And too
Crazy.
Just crazy athletic. Yeah.
Yeah, just a specimen. I need him to score more touchdowns this season. Seriously.
Facts. Like I said, I don't need him being another OJ Howard out here. I really don't.
I hope not, bro. Ooh, that would kill me.
Well, he already got a 1,000-yard season up under his belt, right? His rookie season. So that's something that OJ Howard would never be able to accomplish. So.
Jeez, and this is how Hall of Fame Kyle Pitts, man. Dang, man, they better help that man out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he got to help himself getting in the zone. All right, so we still got a couple more things. We might not get into the full slate of things, but I want to get into. Before we go, I want to get into tandems and I want to get into stacks.
Let's stick with stacks before we run out of time here, because I think that's more relevant from a fantasy perspective. That'll be able to give the viewers and honestly ourselves a chance to be able to take our lead. You know what I mean? So like, let us go ahead and get into that one first, because I don't want to run out of time when it comes to that, because it's a lot to talk about there. You mentioned it earlier, Jamar. You mentioned like if you were in a 16-team league and you said, what if you had Stephon Diggs and you can go ahead and grab a Josh Allen,
yep,
like right behind there. That'll be fantastic. That'll be fantastic. In that Yahoo League, Jamar, so I really wanted Jamar Chase, right? I really wanted Jamar Chase. Wasn't able to get him. So he was picked way earlier than what I expected, and rightful reason. Fantastic wide receiver. But I was able to land Joe Burrow and T. Higgins. So that was a stack enough for me to be able to be like, okay, like I'm okay with this said stack. So, but yeah, I'll let you go ahead and get into what do you think that are some of like the top stacks in the league, and we'll discuss it here.
All right. So yeah, this is definitely my new favorite stack this year. It is that bad man, Aaron Rodgers, taking his talents to the Big Apple. Garrett Wilson. I cannot get enough of Garrett Wilson. It was to the point to where when we had our Yahoo draft, like I reached for Garrett Wilson in the second round because I feel like that man is. I mean, let's just look at it. The facts are he's number 17. Aaron Rodgers had another number 17 that did pretty well. Garrett Wilson won Rookie of the Year last year, and it's crazy because his counterpart Breece Hall was going to win it, but apparently I would say the Jets had 2 Rookie of the Years last year, in my opinion. Garrett Wilson.
Well, technically they did. If you want to throw sauce in there,
right?
So, yeah. I mean, Garrett Wilson is that guy. I mean, we saw shades of it last year with Disney Channel quarterback Zach Wilson and the great Mike White. So, I mean, when you throw in a Hall of Famer who can throw back shoulders left day every day and night out there, and the fact that they even scored a touchdown in Aaron Rodgers' first preseason game in like 5 years, he led them to a touchdown drive to Garrett Wilson, to a spot only Garrett Wilson can get the ball. That man also had 3 catches for 30 yards within that. I mean, 3 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. I mean, and you only did that in 2 series. I mean, just imagine what it's going to be like here for 17 games. And I need all 17 with that stack because I feel like that stack right there. with the way Aaron Rodgers ADP, you don't even have to reach for him. You can get him super late. Garrett Wilson, second round, if off the turn, or I mean, that's just a stack for me. That's going to produce a lot of points. That is sneaky good. I got another one here for you all as well, if I can. And somebody on this panel might like this one here, but so we got Kenny Pickett and George Pickens. I'm dubbing this name Pick Six. We this is the most positive pick six you're gonna have in your life right here. So
yeah, I hope that don't come back to burn us, man. By him pick six, like, Jesus, dude, Jesus. But I like it. It got a little bit of a ring to it, so I take it. I take it.
I mean, we're not talking about Matt Schwab from years ago when he was throwing pick sixes like every game consecutively in a row and basically just fell out the league because of that. We talking about Kenny Pickett here, who like you said had a perfect QB rating in preseason.
Take that with a grain of salt, you know.
Yeah, of course. But the one thing that you did mention earlier that I won't take with a grain of salt, I actually probably put more weight into it, is the fact that their offensive line is a lot better this year. Definitely. It's a lot better. So George Pickens, I understand Ryan Clark said he's more talented of a wide receiver than Justin Jefferson. And I get why a lot of people are, more so combative on that one, like not agreeing. To a certain degree, I kind of get what he was saying. It's more so like just the God-given ability to do certain things that certain people cannot do.
So and why George not Pickens just say that instead of just
maybe poor choice
of word. Value, I guess. Shock value.
I just think he worded it wrong, as far as, make no mistakes about it. George Pickens has been him since high school. Mm-hmm. I think, at Georgia, it just was, a lot of injuries and, things of that nature. But if not he had the injuries at Georgia, I think he would definitely been a top 15, top 10 pick coming out of Georgia for sure.
I see that. And the fact that he went so low in the draft than what he did, I was shocked. And of course, I know you call, certain universities like, the U4, like, Iowa's tight end U, and lately Ohio State is now wide receiver U
for sure.
But I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers has always been the wide receiver academy. For God, they
don't miss. They don't.
George Pickens, he gives you spectacular catch like OBJ vibes or a throwback name, Brandon Lloyd vibes. It's just, it don't matter where the ball is placed. He has the opportunity to go get it. And the fact that I feel like these two have had a connection since last year, the continuity, the revamped offensive line, the running game that actually should be a lot more productive this year than last year. I think the balance there, I think the defense actually is going to be better. It all comes into fruition to where I feel like this is a sleeper stack right here that I might be considering, especially in 2 QB leagues. That's the most I'm going to say on that one, because I ain't trying to give a lot of my sauce.
Morning. Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. I got a couple other stacks, but I just wanted to really highlight those.
Hold on. I need a little bit more. I need for Ian to say something about it, man. How do you feel about it? Because this is beautiful right now. Like, let's keep the momentum rolling. Man, I love it, dude. I love it.
No, seriously, I think I'll piggyback off everything Jamar stated. I think, them being more comfortable in the offense this second year. And I think them playing early last year has a lot was a big plus for them. They needed that experience. Take some of those losses, and they had a decent momentum at the end of the season last year. So more comfortable in the offense. Like he stated, Najee Harris healthy. That's going to be a big thing for them. And they're young. They got a bright future ahead of them. And like I stated, I've been a big fan of George Pickens since, he was coming out of high school. And I think he is definitely him. And I think the world is really about to see, like, those catches he was making last year. I wasn't shocked. Like, the catch he made against Cleveland was insane. I think it was on Monday Night Football, exactly. I mean, it was insane. So anything he does, I'm not really surprised. It's just like, okay, now the world is about to see that George Pickens is him. And the Steelers never miss with receiver picks. Like you can go all the way back to the Mike Wallace days, Antonio Brown. Who else? I think they thought Claypool was going to be one, but I don't know. That's remained to be seen in Chicago. But I mean, even Deontay Johnson. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, they just never miss. No matter what round they pick a receiver, they just never miss. So I think George Pickens is the next one. He could be talent wise. He could be the best out of all of them, and that's saying a lot.
Man, I love you guys, man. Thank you.
Thank you. We done with that.
Yeah.
This next one here is for us, Ian. This next one here is for us. This is yeah. All right, we can breathe now. We can breathe. All right. But this here is definitely one of my newer favorite stacks for a couple of reasons. One, I mean DJ Moore. I feel like DJ Moore. Hopefully, he would do to this offense what Stephon Diggs may have done for the Buffalo Bills to a certain degree. Maybe what Amari Cooper at the time did for Dak Prescott at the time back then, to where it unlocks the offense. And what I have seen in the 2 preseason games that they have played, that DJ Moore is going to be a focal point of this offense. The volume is going to be there. So therefore, DJ Moore's production actually should be on par to what it was his tenure in Carolina, maybe even better, because DJ Moore gives you the yak for sure, and he gives you a lot of targets. I know the one thing that really haven't put him into that elite category is the touchdowns, but I feel like that has a chance to change. It really does. And so I know the perception is Justin Fields can't throw the football because this man ran for over 1,000 yards last year. But if you really peel back the onions and the layers, and I can go real deep into this, but I'm not. There's not enough time for that. Just know that I don't expect Justin Fields to be running for over 1,000 yards again like that at all. But what I do expect is the ball to go to DJ Moore with a lot of targets this year. Therefore, I expect a higher touchdown rate for Justin Fields. Maybe we can finally get our first 30 touchdown guy, or maybe 4,000 yards passing. I'm hoping. I've never seen it before. It never happened in Chicago, but nevertheless, I think this stack here is a very underrated. And in mocks that we have done, I have made that stack happen as much as possible as well. So that's another one. No bias. I'm being very serious here.
Go ahead, Ian. Hey, this is y'all talk them up. It's y'all time to shine, baby.
So fun fact. So I've been a DJ Moore fan since his Carolina days. As far as me being a Panthers fan, but with them drafting DJ Moore, I was very weary of DJ Moore. I forget what Alabama receiver came out. I felt like they should have drafted whatever Alabama receiver came out, but nevertheless, DJ Moore proved to me, years ago that he was, I was putting him in the same like window as George Pickens, like, so him playing for that team, and having the injuries to Cam Newton, and having injuries to these other quarterbacks, or even having Teddy Bridgewater for a year, and then they gave up on him. He still produced. No matter who was out there, he produced. So I think now the world is going to see, like, DJ Moore can do everything. DJ Moore can, he can, as we seen, he can take a screen and take it 60, 70 yards. He can, run dig routes. He's an exceptional route runner. He can do anything. You could even put him in the backfield if you wanted to. And I think, the whole mantra with, Justin Fields can't throw the ball, and Justin Fields, I mean, he's a very talented kid, but he wasn't necessarily known for running like a Lamar Jackson would be. So I think this year people are going to see why Justin Fields was a top 3 quarterback coming out of that draft, and it's looking like he should have been the number 2 pick coming out of that draft. But that's neither here or there. So I think the world is going to see these two finally take that next step into stardom for sure.
All right. And then I have one last stack here that I feel like we all should agree on. And basically all these stacks here that I have named so far, just more so just newer stacks. I mean, we always have the the Mahomes and Kelsey, the Josh Allen and the Diggs, Lamar and Andrews. But this here, I'm excited for. This here is Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley. Like, I'm sure you all saw that clip in preseason of that throw to Calvin Ridley on that sideline by the end zone. That was freaking phenomenal. Just let you know that, he ain't really lost it. I mean, once again, it's preseason, but I feel like this is about to be very special connection. I feel like Trevor Lawrence definitely can finish a top 10 quarterback this year, and I feel like Calvin Ridley has the same to do at his position. Jaguars as a whole should take advantage of that weak division and put up a bunch of points, a bunch of stats, and once again, in fantasy, we can care less about win-loss. We just want production, and production should definitely be there. But I'll say this one last thing. What Trevor Lawrence showed me in that playoff game last year, the fact that he overcame 4 interceptions, he looked like a total deer in headlights to muster them back and pick that Chargers defense apart in that second half and win the game. That showed a lot for me. And also to even be competitive against the Chiefs for the most part in that second game too. So with the addition of Calvin Ridley, by all means, if you can get your hands on this stack in fantasy, that means you can actually focus on other elite talent at other positions and wait on Trevor Lawrence while getting Calvin Ridley. Your team should be pretty dangerous. There you go.
No, I mean, we talk Calvin Ridley up. We seen the things that he done in preseason and inside, training camp. It just goes to show you that he hasn't lost a step. The guy's only 28 years old, so it's he still got some years left. Trevor Lawrence is about as young as they come, up and coming. I think that this unlocks it, Jamar, Ian. We talk about it a lot, right? We talked about the addition that these quarterbacks get, what Stephon Diggs is to Josh Allen, how it unlocked his potential, how AJ Brown unlocked Jalen Hurts' potential. I think this is going to be a similar factor here, you guys, and I think this is going to be the thing that's going to put Trevor Lawrence up there amongst the top 10 quarterbacks. If not inside of fantasy, definitely inside the league here in the next couple years.
Yeah.
Facts. So yeah, that's all I got on that. We'll save the other topics for next week because we're pretty much.
Yeah. Can I say something real quick? Because you mentioned something, Jamar, and so can we go back and put the stack of names that you had up there previously prior to this one? I think it was some guys up in those guys. So okay. So you said that you're hoping that this can be the first 30 TD passing that you guys have, right? Yeah. It's not gonna happen.
That's insane.
It's not gonna happen. Not the way how you guys' offense is tailored. And I wish I could have had a chance to talk to you guys, up on the early morning sports talk podcast. You know what I mean? You already threw the shameless plug. You guys are fantastic on that show. Love it. Listen to it when I'm at work. So for anybody that's watching or listening, make sure you tune in to that. But I'm more excited for you guys' defense as in opposed to your offense, at all. I think you guys got one of the top 2 to 3 linebacker cores inside the NFL at this time. I think those guys are going to be running around making plays, which is going to allow these two guys to shine right here. And I agree, it is a fantastic stat. I think you're kind of reaching for the 30. The only person that can do that, I don't even think Jalen Hurts even done it. I think he still had 22 yards. The thing that makes Justin Fields good is his ability to run. Now, I get it. Cap that some, right? Maybe taper it or tailor it down to 800 yards rushing or 700 yard rushing, like what your boy did, Josh Allen. Josh Allen rushed for 762 yards, 7 TDs, threw for 35 touchdowns and 4,300 yards passing, which is insane. You can't allow Justin Fields to do that. I don't want any of my quarterbacks honestly doing that. I mean, you got the ball in your hands too much. But if he can get around the 25 TD mark, rush for 750 yards, another 9 TDs up on the ground, I think that's where you guys will be able to make your bread and butter. Because 30, I can't see it, bro. 25 maybe, 25 for sure.
If
So
he gets to 30, that means he'll be in. That means we'll only probably lose like two, three games.
man,
Two,
30
2 games.
touchdowns, bro. Yeah.
Those are Lamar Jackson MVP numbers, Cam Newton MVP numbers. So he'll have. We'll be insane. We'll be 15-1, 14-2, 14.
Hey man, a guy can dream, right?
And I'm not there to crush it because it's like DJ Moore doesn't get enough respect, right? Jamar, the only knock is like you already mentioned it, that he just doesn't have any, his inability to be able to get inside the end zone has been his only knock. And you guys think that can change this year, and I'm with you. I do think that can potentially change right here with Justin Fields. I am excited to watch this stack though, because you guys finally got a legit number one wide receiver. So I'm definitely excited when the season starts to see how this thing is going to play out.
Man, so all right, we'll see. We will see. But that concludes for today. Mr. Reed, where can they find us?
You can basically find us anywhere where podcasts are found. You see the ticker down there: YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music. We're basically everywhere. So definitely make sure you check for me and my boys, Destination Fantasy. Right now, we are streaming live upon Facebook as well as YouTube. So definitely make sure you check out the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe. It's all greatly appreciated.
And one additional channel that we have that's very new is Twitch.
Are we twitching right now?
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I've never been a part of Twitch like at all. So like this is my intro to Twitch. So that's what's up.
Yeah. So all right. So next week, week 1. I mean, we already have a game in for Thursday. That is the Lions and Chiefs. I'm actually looking forward to that one. Especially if Chris Jones don't play. That makes it a little bit more interesting as a game itself. So all right. So for my guys, Deshaun, Ian, Brandon Price. We catch you all next week, same time. We'll get you ready for the season to start. Until then.